Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello, Alex. Hello, me. Hello, anyone that might be listening. It is good to see you, or not. It's good to be here. There we go. That one works. I hope you had a lovely weekend. I had a relaxing one. And yeah, we're gonna be reading, playing, whatever you want to call it, some Vampire: The Masquerade Shadows of New York, which is different to how Coteries of New York worked, because we didn't get to choose a clan to begin with, but honestly, that made the surprise of like us being a La Sombra somehow even better. So it's nice. I'm not gonna complain. Just a heads up, next week is gonna be fucked up, schedule-wise, and probably the next few weeks, because one of my Pathfinder players cannot do the normal Saturdays for the next couple weeks. So we're gonna play Pathfinder instead, and this doesn't affect you because I'm not streaming Pathfinder. We're gonna be playing Pathfinder on Friday, which means BB, Danny, and I had to move Baldur's Gate. So we will now play Baldur's Gate on Wednesday. So we will have a 3-day stream party and then 2 days off. Unless I maybe do something on Saturday, I don't know yet. And then Sunday. Huzzah! Anyways, I think that's like it. Like about spoopy, and with spoopy I mean like change, but it's temporary change, so don't worry. Don't panic. That out of the way. Let's go to game. Boop. Game. Hooray! So let's see, what happened last time? We became a La Sombra, which involved the whole La Sombra shit, by which I mean our life got basically turned upside down, because we lost our job, we were a reporter, our investigations were made public, or basically, or to the higher ups. We got threats from our informants. Just everything went to shit. And then we kind of showed that hey, we're not gonna, we're not gonna just wither away and be like, oh, woe is me. No, we're gonna fight. And so we were embraced, and now we're La Sombra. We are the first ambassador for the La Sombra, or official representative, I guess, for the La Sombra in the Camarilla. And people do not like us. There are people who do open hostility, there's people who do just the silent treatment, there's, all kinds of variants of, oh yeah, I don't like you and I'm gonna tell you, versions. Heads up, the game audio is quite loud. Ooh, okay, thank you very much. I'm also quite low, so... I do remember that being a thing, though. But the music was quite loud. Let's see how it is like this. No, it seems to be still quite loud. Ooh. How about this? But the owner of the place where the Elysium is placed in New York came back to everyone's surprise. And basically we told people. The prince got kind of put in like an awkward situation because she didn't give us a proper office as the immigration officer effectively. So we had to meet a very important person in a rundown like burger joint. Let's see. The Banu Hakim are also now part of the Camarillo, and they're being treated better than us. Also, there's gonna be a party, and we're not invited. But I have a feeling that we somehow will still find a way to somehow get involved in said party. And that being said, that was the rundown. Let's go to night 3 of Julia. I think we just met someone. Or went somewhere. The exact thing I don't remember. Oh, yeah, we just said goodbye to Kadir. Okay, because we said goodbye to everyone leaving the art hall, the Elysium. And Kadir is, like, honestly quite friendly with us. I think he likes our, like, kind of just like quips. And, you know, I'm not complaining, Kadir is a cool character. Everyone else, again, was kind of an asshole, except for the Banu Hakim representative. And now we're apparently saying goodbye. Not knowing how to reply, Kadir shrugs. He's the same guy from the... Yes, Kadir is the first... So there's a lot of same people. So Kadir is the sheriff. Then the prince is still Prince Penhart, who is under the influence of, I forgot his name, one of her primogen, I think. And I think that were the, like, well, and then there's her, like, blood pimp. I think those were the, like, faces that we recognized so far. So let's see who else we meet. I'm intrigued. When I reach St. Patrick's Cathedral, I'm greeted by a voice that grates on me like teeth on tinfoil. Well, well, well. The prodigal daughter returns. Who the fuck is he? Oh my god, no. This is the one thing I didn't want to happen. Julia, please. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord, thy God, in vain. Where's Father Leonard? His clergy duties kept him from getting here on time. He sent me to apologize in his name and keep you company for a few minutes. I'm definitely quieter, which sucks because I'm literally speaking right inside of the microphone. That's the second thing he ought to apologize for. He just wants his flock to live in unity. I'm more than willing to oblige him. Why won't you? For the last time, I'm not part of his flock. We have a purely professional arrangement. I know you see it that way. The night Great clans' tendency to stick close to the Catholic Church is their greatest virtue, but they still consider this relationship purely instrumental. This is why we need kindred like you to bring the spiritual change to your clan, to make them understand God's precious gifts. The closer they get to the light, the greater their shadows would become. Again with this unsufferable sermonizing. Benoit Segal here is a local nutjob and an ex-artist, a degenerate who has some sort of complete mental breakdown in the 90s. To recover, he took to religion for solace and guidance. Clan Toreador, of course. The most artistic of the kindred. The Toreador draw their ranks from the creative class, ranging from painters to digital content creators. The Clan of the Rose boasts many former famous actors, singers, writers, dancers, and even London sex workers. The goal is, of course, only to fill the Toreador clan with the best of the best, but its shallow fixation on youth and beauty has caused many hasty decisions. Probably more one-hit wonders under the roof than they can care to admit. Also plenty of insufferable divas and influencers. Kadir's one of them, but surprisingly doesn't show many of their regular traits. Maybe other than keeping himself impeccably slick at all times. He does look impeccable at all times. Also, I love how degenerate is apparently a nickname for Toreador. At first, he proclaimed his readiness to devote the rest of his unlife to studying Gnosticism. After a few years, though, he changed his mind and joined the Catholic Church instead. What the fuck is Gnosticism? The religious belief and studies pertaining to the origins of kindred and the myth of Cain, the alleged OG vampire. I like these personalized notes. They're very fun. As luck would have it, his neophyte's zeal found a major target in me. When I first met him, I was stupid enough to tell him I was raised Catholic and still identified as such. Somewhat. He immediately pictured me as some sort of force for change within the Camarilla and set out to put me back on the righteous path. Now he won't stop preaching to me, apparently until I become a nun. Remember, the darkest place is directly beneath the candle. You turncoats have this unfortunate predisposition to find salvation right within your grasp, and then lose your way in the shadows. Christ, once he starts, he just won't stop. I guess it's time to bring out the big guns. By the way, I was meaning to ask, got any news about Sophie Langley? A painful grimace crosses his face, but doesn't linger. Kind of rude to change the subject, you know. Rude? I'm just looking for a topic both sides in this conversation would care about. You know, like any guide on etiquette says you should. Salvation is a topic close to anyone's heart, whether they admit it or not, and it's pretty bold of you to assume I still care about Langley. I do not assume. I'm certain you do. The second she retires from the public eye, you stop acting like Jesus-era Kanye, and start acting like Jesus is King-era Kanye. Coincidence? I've never had it. Jesus era. Do people really call it that? Or Jesus? I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm not hip enough for the kids. Here's how it's going to work. Tell me what you know, I'll tell you what they say. And keep in mind, I didn't know she was your sire until a few nights ago. Hell, I haven't even met her. Ooh, okay. Get fucked, boy. He winces a bit at me saying hell, but lets it go. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. Reposition myself a bit. Sure. I figure you would have prodded that wound long ago if you knew. But what do you care anyway? Better to let you drone on about your tormented past than to let you carry on with your good missionary shtick. Professional curiosity. Once a journalist, always a journalist. He scratches his head, then exhales in a sad mockery of a chuckle. Fine, fine. I'll do my best to make it short. Just like you said, Sophie Langley, every New Yorker's beloved socialite, was my sire. We first met some time after World War II. I left France right before the Nazis went around the Magnot line. I struggled to keep my siblings alive with my art. Watched my brother die during the flu epidemic of '43. I was close to losing my mind. That's when she showed up. Said the sheer torment in my works caught her eye. She became my patron, allowed my talents to flourish, and supported me financially. Eventually, she embraced me. As a well-off kindred, my artistic interests started to naturally deviate from what they used to be back when I was poor mortal upstart. I began to see the world the way her social circle does. And that she couldn't forgive. Instead of being a fun novelty, I became just another part of the melee surrounding her. She grew distant and then stopped seeing me altogether. I've had my share of meltdowns because of this, I won't deny that. I locked myself out of many career opportunities, but it was an important lesson. That's an interesting pronunciation of... Well, I honestly don't know. I have forgotten how I pronounce it. I assume you pronounce it like Maginot or something. I've just tried to... I think I would like... Maginot? I don't know. I forgot how I pronounce it. I think I just try to think like how a French person would pronounce it, maybe. Don't trust your elders. Vampirism affects them psychologically as well. If they take interest in you, they won't stop until they suck your soul dry, and then discard you like a broken toy. Elder. A few centuries of unlife, well, will net you this big kindred milestone. An elder is only considered an elder after outlasting his or her fellow vampires for roughly 200 years. By then, they will have learned the rules of the great meta game of Jihad, the vast hidden war waged for ages between the ancient undead. Elders are the chess masters. The rest of us are just the pieces. Yada yada. For the first time since I've known him, Seagal registers to me as something other than a Bible-thumping nuisance. Is it compassion I feel? Do I find him relatable? How dreadful. It's possible he's strategically trying to elicit sympathy. Maybe he heard about my dramatic exit from Lodestar, or maybe he's just alluding to the way my sire left me here to fend for myself. It is only God who will ever lead you astray. Who will never lead you astray. This is why I find your act so frustrating, Julia. You're so close to getting it, but you chose sin instead. You choose. There's the Benoit Seagal, I know. Almost had me fooled. Let's get back on track. What about Langley's disappearance from the city? Her past was a road to perdition. Wherever she ended up, I doubt she's too happy about it. She had plans for the future of the city, wanted to make it her ultimate artwork. She was always the vain one. And, of course, you are completely sure you have nothing to do with her disappearance? Please, don't tell me you're getting at what I think you're getting at. Everybody says you've been acting like you're trying to repent for something ever since her vanishing act. And you know, you've got a motive. Of course, I'm getting at what you think I'm getting at. Benito... Okay, it's probably Benoit. Benoit shakes his head. You really have the devil in your heart, Julia. Always testing me. Just asking what everyone is thinking. Are they now? Listen, I'm familiar with a lot of insults attached to my name in this city. Those aren't exactly compatible with the image of a ruthless killer. Killer? Oh, now that's interesting. I haven't said anything about killing. He scrubs his hands over his forehead and collects himself before responding. Stop picking apart every word I say in his completely unpleasant way. Here's a statement if you really want one, Miss Hercule Poirot. Nice reference. Nice. I do believe Sophie, the way I knew her, has met her end. Even if she's still walking this earth, she wouldn't come back here as the same prideful aristocrat. She'd have to undergo a spiritual rebirth. Someone has reminded her of her place. Her former friends talk of her in hushed voices. Even that servant playboy of hers went missing. No more Camarilla parties. She's done for. Are we the servant play toy? Or whatever happened to her? I don't know. I swear on Jesus and his sandals, I had nothing to do with it. But yes, I'm still here and she's not, and it's not a reason to gloat, but to be more humble. I received a sign from God, telling me to re-examine all the unfortunate ways I still resemble Sophie Langley. And I listened. I rejected the pride I shared with her. I renewed my vows to God. Recommitted to preaching His greatness. I mean, this is why we're having this conversation in the first place. Right now, when I think of Langley's influence on my life, I'm grateful, because she was a sign that got me here. And if God wills it, maybe one day you'll look at her the same way, Julia. Mental note, whenever he circles back to his preachy tone, it's time to intervene. Alright. If it makes you feel any better, I think that the only way a wimp like you could have hurt her was by boring her to death with Bible quotes. Now then, quid pro quo, tit for tat. You were saying people still talk about me. I was curious if... Oh, look, who's finally here? Stalling for time worked. Father Leonard rushes in our direction, carrying a folder of documents under his arm. I assume it's the one I came here for. Father Leonard. Oh, I was prepared to go for an old man voice. Christ be praised, Julia. Yesterday I was told this is how priests greet their parishioners in Eastern Europe. Forever and ever, amen. Actually, I think we said each other's lines. Never mind, another long night. Isn't it taking a toll on you? Ah, no need to worry. These days, I sleep a few hours a day. Short naps take care of the rest. There's always work to be done. I apologize for being late. At least I managed to get here before you and Benoit went for each other's throats. Good. I was getting worried. Oh, who do you take me for, Father? He takes you for a total bozo who's about as effective as converting people as a documentary about pedophiles in the Catholic Church. It's just too kind to say it out loud. Ouch. Hear what I have to deal with, Father. But don't worry, we'll make a saint of her yet. Forget saint. For now I'd settle for an adult in the room. He's 70 years older. That's what you are for. That's what you are for, yeah. Isn't that what you are for? I've been patient with that role, but By now, you kids should be moving out, not leaving crayon marks on the walls and throwing food around anytime Daddy's not looking. not what I was expecting. I had to say when reading out loud the voice lines or the lines of a freaking priest. Damn. So let's just forget our own grown-up duties. Just focus on our grown-up duties, shall we, Julia? Here. He gives me a folder he was carrying with him, and I pass him the reports I wrote earlier tonight. Among kindred, it is common knowledge that the Catholic Church is one of the La Sombra's greatest assets. Hell, it might even be one of the main reasons the Camarilla is slowly warming up to the clan. We are technologically impaired and as such woefully unprepared to face the challenges of communicating in the 21st century. Hard to handle advanced encryption when you can't even unlock a smartphone. This is where the Vatican connections enter the picture. A web of priests scattered all around the world exchange our dispatches between each other, making sure they all reach their destinations in total secrecy. I was told not everyone in the Holy See is friendly to our kind, but the most shrewd and talented usually are. I could say they're like a mortal Camarilla, better than any intelligence agency. Remember what happened to John Paul I when he attempted to uncover the workings of the Institute of the Works of Religion? Death after 33 days of papacy. Rumors of CIA and Masonic involvement. Not that Father Leonard has anything to do with any of this. For a Catholic priest, he's alright. He'd probably have made me stay a believer a few years longer than I did, had I known him as a teenager. Leonard is intelligent, kind, helpful towards his parishioners, treats his superiors with a healthy dose of skepticism, and is not involved in any sort of political church games. Well, at least not beyond helping me contact my bosses in Chicago every other night or so. He knows about the kindred, and he knows about the Second Inquisition. He opted to avoid the latter in order to keep the former from oppression, because according to him, it's the right thing to do. Second Inquisition. The philosophy of the War on Terror applied to us kindred. Somewhere along the way, some deep state assholes decided the way to handle the existence of vampires was to treat us as terrorists. Yet, the agents waging these operations against us often have no idea what the hell is going on, because some intra-agency collaboration created to hunt us doesn't tell anyone anything, unless it's neat to know. Among kindred, the term is most often abbreviated as SI, or 2SI. I know there's got to be something wrong with him. Some selfish motivation maybe, and I haven't nailed it down yet, but it doesn't feel like he's making an effort to hide it, so I'm giving him a pass. Let me drink something. By the way, I hope you don't mind I finally took the liberty of asking how your parents are doing. Thank you, Father, but you shouldn't have. Not a problem. A priest at Saint Stanislaus Kostka is a good friend. He says your parents started showing up every Sunday again, on Rose. Your father is looking better and better. It makes me feel nothing, but I still give him a token nod and a grateful smile. Thank you, Father Leonard. Now, if you'll excuse me, the sunrise is almost here. Yes, be careful and God bless you. Amen! Goodbye, Julia. I'll let you off the hook this time, but next time, you won't be so lucky, alright? I forgot his voice instantly. Sure, just one more thing on my never-ending list of events I'm not looking forward to. Guess it's time to call it a night. I'm home. Finally. You doing alright? Who is our wife? Who's the... Oh my god, this is Dakota? Ooh. 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 Okay. Finally. You doing alright? Fine, I guess. Why aren't you asleep? I figured it's finally time for me to become more of a night owl. We've talked about making our schedules sync better. What's your vitamin D? I'd kill to have your skin. Would be a shame to waste it. Shouldn't have smoked so much before you got bitten, sweetheart. Shouldn't have shared your skincare routine with... Should have shared your skincare routine with me back when I was still breathing. I can't just be going around sharing my one secret weapon. It's top secret stuff. MK Ultra level. Jeffrey Epstein current whereabout level. I'd have to kill you if I told you. Love you too, hun. Okay then, love you too, hun. Oh, come on. What's with the attitude? Nothing. I just thought we're beyond hiding secrets from each other. Because I was wrong. But okay, I get it. I really do. Time out. You're not really mad, are you? Nah. Just my inner asshole teasing you. Never mind. I feel a little more self-conscious than usual tonight. Don't. You want me to do your makeup before you go to sleep? No need. Shut the fuck up. Let me... Go away, you prick. Great. Give me just 1 second. Where do I... Can I do that here? Why do I have to go to the freaking... mod view to... Then I can go here, block term, go this. Here we go. Anyways, what were we doing? No need. No need? Aren't you supposed to have some sort of big party tomorrow? I was involved in the backstage stuff. What makes you think I was invited? Because you're the coolest, cutest, and most all-around amazing person I know. It'd be insane to not put you on this short list. Believe it or not, but most vampires are pretty insane. Interdimensional psychic vampire level insane? Because that's how crazy they'd have to be to ignore you like this. Yeah, I would say so. Fuck them then. A big bunch of posh dicks. They hate you because they ain't you. But they'll see. Jesus. How do you do it? Do what? You always associate me with so much of this weird, stupid positivity that I can't react to it without completely shifting my mental attitude. How do you do it? Oh, the answer's easy. You remember how I told you we have this spiritual connection? I can sense what you feel and want. You can sense what I feel too, if you really focus. Yeah, I think I called it a big load of bullshit. Said a girl who talks to ghosts, but watch this, Agent Scully. I sensed you feeling down and I realized what you really need to end this night. She points to one of her drawers. It's the one where she keeps her supply of... ketamine? Come on. What? No, wrong drawer. We're not meeting demons. we're meeting angels. MDMA? Ding ding ding! Took it half an hour ago. Perfect timing thanks to our spiritual connection. Do not take drugs, kids. ... Ready to fly away? The mood isn't right. I'd need music. Got a special SoundCloud playlist ready to go, prepared specifically to uplift one Julia Savinsky. Just give me the sign and I'll press play. Jesus, you're impossible. That's why you love me. I hope. ... I give up. Come here, let me have a taste of you. Maybe this one time. The high won't end. We just got a achievement. Get acquainted with the realities of your own life. Things to do in New York City when you're dead. Rest. I'll leave Dakota's apartment as soon as the sun goes down. Yesterday was fun, but I always feel a little nervous when I spend too much time with her. She never lets me escape from being the center of attention. It's exhausting. At least, the less time I spend with her, the happier she is to see me again. It's a tricky act to balance, though. I'm grateful for her presence in my life, but never mind. What's on my list of chores tonight? Ah, yes, only one thing. Don't show up for the party at the art hole. Well, this is the rare night when I don't have anything to do. Might as well take a trip around the city and see what's up. Maybe fix myself a little drink while I'm at it. Ooh, okay, we have breaking the habit. I need to break out of this mood. Go somewhere I never visit. See something I tend to avoid. Think, Julia, what's the least you place to go and live a little? Or a walk in the park. In life, I wasn't especially fond of parks. Now, as one of the kindred, I can finally see the appeal. Past midnight, they become a surprisingly good hunting ground. Let's have a drink first, and then we go party, or do whatever. Then Cortlandt Park. Funny, I never knew how much I could miss nature until I got stuck in this urban jungle for good. A sight of familiar green surroundings... Of familiar green surroundings slowly flood my mind with disjointed images. Back from when I just moved to New York City and was still in awe of it. Let's reminisce a bit. I close my eyes, allowing myself to drown in the stream of memories. An elderly couple holding their frail hands in the warmth of the morning sun. An evening gathering of self-important academics fervently discussing the discoveries no one but them cares about. A bunch of kids chasing an imaginary treasure, joyful, restless, and oblivious to the dangers of the summer's heatwave. A young, perfectly chiseled jogger running along the golf course, 100% graceful in every move he makes. Mesmerizing. My eyes snap open, and the spinning kaleidoscope of images fades away. I collect my focus and remember what brought me here. A burning heat reaches my fingers. I flick the butt away and immediately take another cigarette out of the pack before proceeding through the parade ground. Faint sound of shoes tapping against the concrete interrupts my contemplative mood. Just what I was hoping for. I hurriedly finish my smoke and take a step back, blending in with the shadows. A lonely jogger runs into and out of the pale lamplight, completely lost in his thoughts, all dressed up in top-shelf sportswear, wiry muscles clearly visible under the skin-tight outfit, and his exposed neck I get the urge back under control for now. Back when I was alive, I'd rely on the breathe in, breathe out exercise. However, nowadays, breathing costs a premium. Just as I regain my composure, the jogger stops by the flickering lantern and takes a glance at his smartphone. His body tenses noticeably as he answers a call. Moving in on him right now would, of course, inevitably involve the caller hearing their soul happen. No reason to make things complicated. I'll take my time. I cautiously get closer and closer until I can finally overhear his words. Oh, should have expected the bad news. I know. But Jesus, Tasha, he's 9. He struggles and fails to sound calm. No, she doesn't know yet. I'll tell her when I get home. I need to think this through. I notice a lanyard, half-strung, stuck to a pocket, with the Bronx Times logo slapped on it. They say there's no cure. Yeah, I heard something about experimental treatments in Rochester, but I can't make this decision on my own. I connect the dots, realize what he's talking about, and feel like I was punched straight in the guts. Listen, I need to clear my head. Tell Jonah I'll need a couple of days off. If he starts throwing a fit again, tell him he'd better learn to write the fucking column on his own. No, seriously. Thanks, Tasha. Yes, I'll give him a kiss from his auntie. The moment he hangs up, his composure goes out the window. Basically stumbles to the nearest bench. God damn it. His faint sobbing stops me in my tracks. I lose my appetite. Feeding on this guy would feel nauseating anyway. Just when I convince myself that I should let basic decency take the reins, he notices me, creeping around. He gives me a startled glance, eyes damp, looking absolutely miserable. Busted. So what do you say to a guy you were just about to assault in a dark park, but thought better of it? Are you a journalist? Hey, He absent-mindedly wipes away the tears of his cheeks. Do you by any chance write for the Bronx Times? His short but genuine grin catches me off guard. You didn't expect to be recognized. Definitely not by some random girl in the middle of the night. Yes. How do you know? You don't strike me as a baseball fan. Though he's a sports columnist. With the fakest smile on my face. Time to lie out of my ass. Well, you got that right. I'm a reporter too. I think I saw you once when I visited Jonah in his office. You work with him, right? Yeah, you might say that. His inner struggle seems pretty clear. Truth be told, I write most of his things as well. Bingo! For real? That lazy bum will never change. If he wasn't such an ass kisser, he'd be out of his comfy seat in no time. Sheesh. It's like you read my mind. Yeah. Anyway, let me stop you. Keep up the good work. You deserve better. Don't let me stop you. Not let me stop you. You think so? Glad to hear it. Still, I don't mean to impose, but it's late and this place is not exactly... Yeah, don't worry about me. Someone's picking me up in a few minutes away from here. See you around. For sure. Oh, and... Thank you. I notice a change in his melancholic face. He stands up with his back straight, like he has regained some of his lost resolve. He nods and starts running straight back to his problems. Start walking in the opposite direction. Wanted to eat, not to, help someone with his mental struggles. Or life struggles. Even though I might regret this show of abstinence later. What little remains of my humanity inside my shriveled heart encourages me to think that letting this guy go was the right thing to do. I'll need a change of scenery to break out of this mood. And an opportunity to actually get some juice into my veins. Relatively guilt-free, if possible. You don't strike me as a baseball fan. Yeah, I'm much better at pitching than with a bat. Hey yo! Hello, Brad. Hello, hello. Oh my god, I love how you come in here like, hello, I have this thing to say, like, welcome. Guess that's enough human interaction for one night. Once more to Big Beat Burger, into the last food joint I'll ever know. I'll have the usual. First time I used this line I wasn't sure it would work, but I've gained enough notoriety among the staff that it does. The cashier just smiles, nods, and charges me for one black coffee. I can imagine them instructing the newbies. See that emo weirdo? Here's how it is. She always orders a single cup of coffee, nothing else, and she doesn't even drink it. Probably wouldn't take a single sip even if I was still alive. This stuff is just trash. At least, being a buying customer gives me an excuse to sit here for as long as I want. I wish I could use one of those self-order kiosks to minimize human contact, but touch screens don't exactly like me. Not too long ago, I managed to blue screen 10 of them in a row. Jesus Christ. Ah, well, the good news is, it doesn't look like I have anything to do tonight. The bad news is, it's because every kindred who matters is having fun at the art hall, right now. It's not like I wanted to go, I just wanted them to invite me so that I could tell them to fuck off. I scanned the entrance to the restaurant through my peripheral vision. Am I naively hoping someone will come and save me from misery? Guess I am. Please, 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 let somebody come and get me out of here. A prince. Princess. A knight in shining armor, a fairy godmother, a passing huntsman, Big Bad Wolf, Mila Jovovich, Vin Diesel, Azalea Banks, I have no clue who that is. Hell, I'll take anyone at this point. Visualizing, tapping into the powers of my subconsciousness, materializing my dreams. Nope. Doesn't work. Looks like you're eternally stuck, being a nobody in the corner of a shitty restaurant. Sweet little Julia. Unloves a bitch and then you don't even die. I pretend to read a book about psychoanalysis I stole from Dakota for a while. Having found it too mentally taxing, I switched to pretending to read a Stephen King book, which I also stole from Dakota. After the terrifying realization that it was written in the last 15 years, and therefore contains no amusement, drugged out rants about troubled childhood in Maine, I switched back to looking at the entrance. That party must be so stuffy and trashy and boring. At this point, I'm no longer looking for salvation. I'm asking for amusement. But it doesn't come. All I get is boring bozos in normcore clothes. They walk in and take care of their business without doing anything to amuse me and walk out. Hey, that's what I do. A few minutes after I lose all hope, a tall, elegant man marches in with a spring in his step. He looks around, impatient, irritated, and he notices the person he was looking for and reacts with visible relief. He gallantly approaches my table, looks at me and says, "There you are. Kadir! Buddy! Now that's curious. He shouldn't be here." Big Bad Wolf? Vin Diesel? No, I think... but he's not... he's not a Gangrel, though. It's okay, we still call him Big Bad Wolf. Careful, everyone, Big Bad Wolf is here. He will huff, and he will puff, and he will blow our house in. Dot dot dot. Yep. Reasonable reaction, Kadir. Why are you stalking me, Wolf? I have you know, I'm not falling for the grandma disguise ever again. My dumb attempt at self-amusement doesn't faze him at all. He doesn't even roll his eyes, just stares at me blankly. Grab your stuff and get in my car, now. His tone leaves no room for doubt. Something bad has happened. I want to ask what, but whenever he's in his I will simply ignore all the dumb shit you say mood, I know better than to ask questions. Instead, I silently follow him to the exit. He guides me to his car. I just hope I haven't messed anything up. Again, I don't think I have, but... have I? His car is usual. He gave me the back seat. He's always uneasy when the passenger seat is taken. Doesn't want anyone to limit his peripheral vision. He says... this might just be the exact same image they used on the first game. Except for like his portrait, so maybe they redrew it even. I don't know. Normally I'd catch him observing me in the rearview mirror, but this time he's watching the streets. More tense than usual. Something must have caught him off guard. I've got my seatbelt on and my popcorn ready. What's up? The awkward silence feels like it will last forever. Eventually he finds the right words and speaks up. 6 weeks ago, the prince told me to parley with the anarchs in the docks. Remember? Anarchs, the loosely organized sect of political outsiders opposing the modern Camarilla-dominated paradigm. They seek to end the tyranny of the elders, but from what I've seen in New York City, they just replaced one hierarchy with another, more loosely defined. Hooray! Yeah, and you made me tag along so that I could learn something about politics. As it turns out, politics meant something awfully similar to watching my drunken family shout at each other at a wedding party. There was this man who didn't need to shout to make my blood boil. Their meanest one in the room, their leader. White hair, a monocle, musty clothes. With this... no, wait, what did we give him, like... with this fucking Polak cunt. No, it was like... older, or like, with this fucking Polak cunt. No, he was, okay, so he's more snobby, like, with this fucking Polak cunt. Let's go with that. Scrooge McDuck, yeah, how could I forget? A lot of panache, old-timey bravado, and gendered insults flung my way. What was his name? Something British made me think of Hollywood. Callahan? Baron Callahan. Douglas Boss Callahan. Baron, a powerful anarch, basically warlord. Barons are often up-jumped licks who have strong-armed their way into control over a building or even a city block. In New York City especially, in Douglas Callahan's case, it often seems suspiciously like a form of traditional governance to me. Right, it's 2020, but the man's opinions and ideas were stuck in 1920. Weren't the anarchs supposed to be the progressive option? I never understood why they put up with him. He has his ways of predicting which way the wind will blow. Anytime Camarilla or the SI hit the anarchs, it was the factions opposed to him that were hurt. The luckiest bastard in the world. Thought you didn't believe in luck. I don't, but it sure looks like his luck has finally run out tonight. Huh? Wait, don't tell me we're going to kill him? So what you're saying is we're headed to his office to kill him. What? Just what? No, absolutely not. Looks like I missed the mark by a mile. Even if, and that's a big if, an idea like this wasn't completely opposed to everything Prince Hennard has been doing over the past few years. His tone sounds as if he was addressing a particularly dumb child. The worst part is, I probably deserve it. There wouldn't be any need for that. The man has ceased to exist. Wait, he's dead? Better than dead. I'm 99% sure the bastard met his final death. How do you know? We've got trustworthy sources in the Anarch's inner circle. Looks like a hell is about to break loose. There's an emergency meeting at the art hall. Jesus, and you're bringing me with you? Why? Because you were on the way. I could, because I should. You might not be important to the members of the court, but you're still an asset to the sect. Symbolically, at least, I can justify sneaking you into the party and claiming it's for your own protection. An unexpected alliance between Big Bad Wolf and poor little Red Riding Hood. Sure. Wait a minute, though. The party is still happening? I called the prince, told her the best course of action is stopping it, and started listing security protocols I've prepared for these sorts of situations. She interrupted me halfway through and told me we will discuss this subject face to face. Doesn't sound like she was interested. The party is that important, huh? Politics is that important. I don't know if he's trying to convince me or himself. And once again, politics sounds an awful lot like a bunch of party-loving assholes shouting at each other. Don't worry, this isn't the kind of, how should I call it, governing issues the likes of you and I tend to deal with. And how would you describe the governing issues we tend to deal with? Shoveling ourselves out of shit. As usual, he seems a little embarrassed for cussing. Out, or for being too honest. Either way, it's cute. No argument here. And that's where the conversation ends. We stay silent as the car rides off towards the unknown. I'm not a New York City Baron. The Baron of New York City, if you please. I could have made him British, but also it doesn't matter anymore now. Once more, the memory of an old douchebag who thought he could rule the world crosses my mind. Well, it looks like the world has left him behind. Sayonara, asshole. And here I am at the only place I didn't expect to visit tonight. The art hall. Guessing by the sounds, the inside seems lively. Even if they know it's an emergency, they simply don't care. What are you standing around for? You still need an invitation? No idea. Do I? I think the bouncer will let you in. There's a bouncer? Yes, and he's standing right in front of you. Just start walking, whelp. And here I am, among partying elites. It's as stuffy and boring as I expected, but hey, at least it's exclusive. The title Panhard came up with for these yearly gatherings is called Celebrations of Power, an invitation to re-examine the relationship between our undead bodies and the spaces they inhabit. The week-long event is packed as a sort of performance art piece meant to make the kindred who are involved celebrate their potential instead of despairing at the monstrous nature. We need to counter-program the omnipresent images of tragic vampirism with images that remind us we have inherited the Earth and are now free to remark in our image. Remake it in our image, is the way our prince puts it. To this end, she organizes a series of exhibits, concerts, fireworks, parties, business meetings, etc., etc. Of course, the parties and business meetings are the most important. My prince. Kadir. Finally. He looks fancy. A saint with angelic wings, a holy patron of New York City. I take a good look around. Half of the figures here are dressed like they're attending a masked ball. The other half are religious figures, either demonic or saintly. I have to admit, I don't fully understand the theme here. I know Panhard based it on psychomagic, sort of shamanic psychotherapy using the power of art. Simply put, it's a holy mass and unholy mass in equal measures. A set of rituals meant to make the participants wholeheartedly accept they're both the worst and the best this earth has to offer. Put on this mask, at the very least, you're standing out. Here. I heard the aesthetic basis for these parties is the Black Mass in the film Eyes Wide Shut. I don't think this decision means Panhard is tone deaf, but it's quite the contrary. She knows the anarchs and are constantly looking for ways to undermine her through art and rhetoric that point out glaring contradictions in her theoretical benevolent rule. But instead of denying and suppressing aesthetic designs to criticize the elites, she embraces them. Instead of risking a Streisand effect, she actively defangs the opposition. The resistance becomes a part of the system, and both the Camarilla and the anarchs get the same message. Don't think of it as a pathology. Think of it as the new normal. I'll collect the key advisors. They've already been told to come here. I don't think there's a need for us to hold the meeting in a particularly secluded place. We'll just do it over there. Are you certain? Absolutely. Wait, is that Miss Savinsky I see behind you? You do indeed. Well. Just let Kadir talk. I nudge Kadir to take over. I collected her on my way here, because of her role as a La Sombra representative. Just say politely, political hostage. You people have made it perfectly clear that's gonna happen with my parents in Chicago if I go against you. I realized she might become a target and decided to hide her at the art hall. Putting all my eggs in one basket will make my job easier. I will look for a safe place for her to spend the night. Let her stay with you for now. All is mine. Time is of the essence. I didn't notice him sneak up on us. Nice get up. Are you absolutely sure? But of course, everything we say here is going to become an open secret in a matter of minutes. Prince Panhard has already come up with the appropriate messaging. Out of the corner of my eye, I spot an elderly vampire guiding a young, fashionably human girl towards the basement, led like a lamb to the slaughter. Best not think too deeply about what's going on underneath this place. Before everyone gets here, I'd like to secure the perimeter. Easy now, Al is mine. All the appropriate security protocols or you are already active. Me and the prince have already pulled some strings as well. Is he undermining Kadir right now? The situation is mostly under control. Mostly under control. Never let anyone sleep any easier. Al is I know that the prince's sword, as the prince's sword, you're aching for blood, but you have to accept that, like most weapons known to man, the most effective hidden in the sheath. Listen here now. Looks like a fascinating philosophical discussion in the making, but sadly, I'm forced to interrupt. Prince Panhard. All of a sudden, Samira appears between the two men, her calm and collected voice completely changing the atmosphere, as expected of a self-professed protector of the peace. Samira, I hope you're enjoying yourself. To be quite honest, I feel out of place. She nods and smiles at me, probably to signal she takes solace in not being the only person in the room who feels like a fish out of water. Especially now, seeing as I heard this meeting is meant for those of greater stature than mine. Nonsense. We have a delicate matter to discuss, one that might require severe judgment down the road. I think you understand why I wished for the child of Hakim to be involved. Of course. What is with that expression on your face, Kadir? He quickly collects himself. Look who's joining us. The High Regent of the Chantry of the Five Boroughs, Lady Ailing Sturla. Ailing Sturbridge. There we go. I can read. Walks up to our group in an outfit I would have never imagined her in, pretending everything is par for the course. Prince Panhard, the Sheriff, the Harpy, the Banu Hakim Primogen. Are we still waiting for someone? He's almost here. Shining ever more brightly than usual, Aileen. I adore your outfit, Samira. Wish the prince allowed the same amount of effort for me. Is that hair or does she have real devil horns? Honestly, I'm not sure. It might be her hair, the way it looks. But also, I love the idea of her just having clip-in devil horns. It's great. I love it. I, for one, am glad she didn't. I particularly love these horns. Thank you for reminding me I put them on at the prince's behest. I believe she had more than enough fun. Oh, I guess they're just clip-ins. No, not yet. Ah well, this will do for now. But you're not off the hook yet. I paid a costly price to see you like this. Both Kadir's and the prince's voices are strained whenever they attempt humor. Their minds are obviously elsewhere, and it's not a happy place. What the fuck is... I don't know, honestly. I think the prince is just being a prick. And no one likes it. But also, like... they have to kind of humor her. Because, well, she's the leader of the place. Their minds are obviously elsewhere, and it's not a happy place. Arturo, on the other hand, seems calm. We all celebrate our power in different ways, I suppose. Now, what is this about? Just a moment. Over here, Edison. The Camarilla's infamous spokesman approaches, pushed towards us in a wheelchair by his servant. Helene, everyone. I certainly hope this is something important. What a commanding tone. Seeing as Payne can't communicate normally, his servant relays his words to us instead. And he's posh and snobby enough to make us believe I'm listening to his master's voice. Oh, wait. If he's posh, let me change the voice. Helene, everyone. I certainly hope this is something important. There we go. I had to up the snob a bit. Carter won't be joining us. He gave me a fair warning he might not make it tonight. I've messaged him the details. I'll have to find time to meet him later then. Finding time, searching for lost time. I swear it's all I do nowadays, and there's never enough. I guess now you understand why I insisted that this event must last all week. So many of our esteemed guests. Many of them from out of town, each deserving at least a few hours. The figure in the wheelchair waves his hand impatiently. Yes, let us cut to the chase now, shall we? That might be the widest course of action, my prince. Arturo? My prince, everyone, let me begin by stressing these important points. The situation is largely under control. The negotiations are underway, and the situation is more tense and dangerous. We are safe. Let me repeat, we are safe. And with that out of the way, here's the big news. Baron Callahan, de facto leader of anarchs in New York City, met his final death in his office tonight. ... How did you find out? We have a good friend near his office. Their intel is as accurate as it gets. We've also established a negotiation channel with the anarchs. They gave us all the confirmation we needed. Was our court involved in this destruction? In his destruction? I look at her in disbelief. So does everyone else? Not that the same thought hadn't passed through my head, but to simply exclaim it like that. I mean, fair question, honestly. Oh, spare me the virtue signaling. I thought we were being transparent here. I don't give a damn if we took out of Callahan or not. I just want to have a clear idea of what I'm dealing with. Yes, a clear answer. I need that too. To my knowledge, none of us present here ordered his destruction, nor did we participate in it, unless someone wants to confess. It's now or never. Of course, nobody speaks up. Arturo pretends to clear his throat. That's our official position as well. The Commonwealth's ruling body had nothing to do with it, and for all intents and purposes, our contenders had more interest in removing him than we did. That's interesting. That interest is sure to manifest in one way now. His former enemies will pop him up as a martyr for the cause. Yes, which is why we sadly can't just leave the anarchs out of to their own devices. As much as we'd like to avoid recognizing the sect in any ways, we've offered to assist them in an official investigation. Edison Payne's wrinkled face contorts slightly. Let me just ask you one question. Do you realize those curs have no respect for traditions, yes? The traditions. The 6 traditions form the basis of modern kindred law. The first tradition is Masquerade. Thou shalt not reveal thy true nature. Don't let anyone figure out you're a vampire. Considered the most important of the bunch, but it's loosely interpreted pretty often. Hello wolf, hello, hello, hello. But it's, the second tradition is domain. Thy domain is thine own concern, all others owe thee respect while in it. I'm too much of a nobody to own a domain, so this one doesn't apply to me. The third tradition is progeny. Thou shalt only sire another with the permission of thine elder. Basically, birth control, but for vampires, no new bloodsuckers unless somebody, usually the prince, agrees to it. The fourth tradition is accounting. Those who thou create are thine own children. Their sins are thine to endure. If I fuck up real bad, Karen should face some consequences. In theory. The fifth tradition is hospitality. Honor thy one other domain. Without one word of acceptance, thou art nothing. In New York City, this usually understood as don't hunt on someone else's turf, but in a city that houses over 8 million mortals, enforcement of this one is pretty lax. The sixth tradition concerns destruction. Thou art forbidden to destroy another of thine kind. The right of destruction belongs only to thine elder. You don't get to kill the vampire unless the prince gives you the go-ahead. As Sheriff Kadir has the implicit go-ahead. It's like, yeah, he kind of has the, like, just hand wavy, yeah, just do it. We do, Edison, but as veteran politician, you should be deeply familiar with the words controlled opposition. Yes. For now, it's impossible to fully contain the anarch threat in New York's. For now, our only option is to prop up a candidate who will offer the least resistance to our future plans for the city. We extend our hand to the most promising contender, giving him a way to present himself as a diplomat, man of reasonable compromise. The rebel falls in line, the purists grow angry and alienated. We've already contacted the best possible person in their sect. He will oversee the investigation, and it's in his best interest to show he is able to resolve the situation calmly. Is that good enough? Edison ponders the question for a while, then waves his hand again. It is. Proceed. Funny thing, nobody's paying any attention to me right now. Keep in mind, Mr. Payne, our main man's people are still barely tolerate us, and the situation is volatile. The other factions within that sorry excuse for a sect might still try to escalate the conflict. I will do my best to solve this situation as fast as possible. How so? Kadir is momentarily taken aback by Artura's question. I volunteered to coordinate the case with the Anarchs, of course. I refuse. You have more important duties to focus on. Once more, Kadir is stunned. Did Kadir always— No, he had open hair in the first game. They changed his look a bit. Also, he's currently wearing a mask because there's a party going on. But in this game, yes, he always had a ponytail. All due respect, Prince, but if you don't consider me capable of tackling this issue and attending to my usual duties, at the same time I think you gravely underestimate me. Your penchant for working out yourself to the bone is well known and appreciated by everyone in this room, Sheriff. But so is your perfectionism. Oh, no, I meant— yeah, no, yeah. It is a mask. There's some kind of like angelic slash devil kind of theme going on. And I guess his is more like devil. If we do grant you your wish and let you investigate while still fulfilling your routine obligations, can you guarantee you're going to give us Give both tasks your best. I can guarantee something very close to my best. Close to your best doesn't cut it, Al-Asmai. Not when the vultures are out in force. Kalihan destruction is sure to cause unrest among the Anarchs, and an obvious outlet for their pent-up rage. I want to make this perfectly clear. The celebrations will continue as planned, no matter what. This is why your presence here is absolutely necessary, Sheriff. We rely on your constant protection. Of course, my prince, you must be on constant vigil for a few days. Al-Asmai's sword must be constantly pointed at the enemy surrounding us. ... The timing of the Baron's destruction is impeccable. The Anarch leaders are sure to point it at us and claim we're shamelessly celebrating his end. Does anybody believe it's just a coincidence? Murders are messy. Almost as messy as politics. It's impossible to reliably predict the outcome of any violent action. I think it'd be wise of us to brace for a lot of unfortunate coincidences. Aileen. In any case, the rebel can't get the impression that their power struggles are of great concern to us. But they also can't think we have something to hide, which brings me to my point. We don't need a symbolic gesture. We do need a symbolic gesture. One display expertly measured intensity. Wait, what? One displaying expertly measured intensity. My best bet is a humble diplomatic envoy, a low-level official acting as an investigator of sorts. And it's gonna be us. Because there's no one lower than us. I implore you, my prince. Kadir? He bites his tongue and... He bites his tongue and struggles to collect himself. I rarely see him lose his temper, at least when where the camera is involved. What's going on? I wonder about your suggestion for this role. After all, it's not particularly prestigious, but carries a lot of responsibility. We're still talking about a Camarilla representative. Oh, I think there's a very obvious candidate. Both he and Kadir look at me simultaneously. Everyone else in the room does too. Now, wait a second. He can't possibly mean... Miss Julia. Once again, your full name eludes me at the moment. Am I allowed to speak, or maybe I should wait for permission before I make up my mind? The sheriff sighs deeply and speaks up. Savinsky. Miss Julia Savinsky, right. I understand you used to be an investigative journalist before your embrace. That's correct. That's correct. Among others, the Banu Hakim Primogen insisted that you are worthy of greater privileges and should be given a chance to prove yourself. Some of your measures are too low with suspicion. Yes. Do you still think she's capable? She looks me deep in the eye. I swear she's telepathically trying to tell me, please, 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 don't fuck this up, you dumbass little white girl. Of course. Good. And I'm sure that you, Al-Asmai, have no problem with your protege embarking on this mission, save for the pain a mother feels when watching her child leave the nest. Whether I do or not, or don't, is not particularly important right now, is it? Is. Absolutely is. Penhard's backing of Artura's momentarily blindsided him. Prince Penhard died. If Artura's plan is reckless, I want you to tell me. I need a simple yes or no answer. Is the girl capable? Now he knows he's left with no choice. I've acquired snacks. Let's go. I have also snacks. What snacks do you have? I have salt sticks. Or, well, yeah. That's at least the German name, just literally translated. Currywurst style chips. Nice. I don't think I ever had any, but sounds good. Potentially a bit much, but I wouldn't entrust her with all the responsibility that I have if she wasn't. He exchanges glances with me, but his look is different than Samira's. It's as if he's trying to apologize to me. Here we are then. Recommendation from the Banu Hakim Primogen and the Sheriff. To tell you the truth, I was just throwing out ideas, but with his backing, I can't doubt the Night Clan's representative will get the job done. I'm certain each of us feels the same. Miss Payne, Mr. Payne. The atmosphere in the room mostly suggests people are glad they don't have to discuss the topic further. A shrug here and averted gaze there. I had the currywurst chips before as well. They were good, but you aren't missing much. Okay. I believe it. I mean, like what? Technically, most, like, currywurst is like a tomato, like, well, it's like a kind of barbecue-y sauce with just curry. It is as you say. I will watch the way she handles the situation with great interest. Well, then, Miss Savinsky, looks like you've got your chance for a big break. Nobody asked what I think? Well, I have conditions. Big break doesn't mean much by itself. All I see is a big responsibility being placed on my shoulders. What do I stand to gain here, exactly? Even though I normally jump at the chance to be useful, I play it cool. All of a sudden, not only everyone acknowledges my existence, but believes I can handle solving a tense criminal case. Something seems too good to be true. Let's not be vulgar now. You stand to improve your standing at the court. Yes, we can discuss particulars based on your performance. Yeah, they don't plan on giving me shit figures. It's not like I can refuse, but this is something I need to take into account while taking care of this case. I need a bargaining position if I want to get anything out of this. Yeah, I'll do it. Just point me the right direction and tell me what to do. Excellent. That leaves us with only one more matter, which I hope we can agree on. Prince Panhard signals someone with their hand. A figure emerges from behind the corner. Good evening. Catherine, what a pleasant surprise. Nobody informed us you were in town. Edison, looking healthier than ever. And what does Weiss have to do with it? We need an impartial observer who everyone respects. And as it happens, Catherine always knew how to make friends on both sides without angering either. I beg to differ. I'd be grateful if, just for once, you decided against throwing a tantrum about me, High Regent. A painful grimace crosses Ailing's face, but she's quick to interpret the taunt as an invitation to a game she can't possibly win. As long as she can prove herself useful to the proceeding in any way. If half of what I heard about her from Mr. Van der Weyden is true, she should be able to. And what did poor Carter say about me this time? Nothing specific. One always has to read between the lines with him, but it was mostly envy. Miss V is gracefully agreed to mediate between the Anarch's representative and the La Sombra representative, ensuring mutual cooperation and mitigating potential conflicts. That felt like a Freudian slip. La Sombra representative, not Camarilla representative, i.e. someone who can be catapulted from the sect without much damage to the ivory tower if they mess up. Is there a meeting set up? Arturo looks at the clock on the other side of the room. In less than an hour. You'd better hurry then. What the hell? All of this happening so fast. If the situation is indeed under control, I would drive her and oversee the situation. Out of the question. You've got your orders, Sheriff. Attend to those. You fool. The girl needs guidance. And we need yours. Nobody knows what might happen next. But it's not as if the Anarchs have a lot of love for you, Alazmai. You're too efficient in your duties. For them to tolerate you, better spare Miss Savinsky having them see you two together. ... Do you think my guidance of Julia would be lacking, Kadir? I never said that. So, do you have any objections to putting her under my care? He lowers his gaze but seems reassured. None whatsoever. That's all I needed to hear. We'll be going then. Wasting no time as usual, I see. Have you at least tried the aperitifs? Waiting is an old person's game, Helene. I still feel young. Remember, if there's anything you need help with, probably not. But I'll appreciate the thought nevertheless. Have a great night, everyone. Catch up with you later, Edison. I certainly hope you do. And so we leave in a rush, funny considering what she told me about being in a hurry yesterday. Doom. We're here. She thanks the chauffeur and lets me out of the car into a quiet neighborhood, somewhere in Queens. Seems like you were in a rush. I couldn't stand the crowd. She's honest, probably performatively so, just to get into my good graces. Well, it's working. And what is that? In my experience, gatherings like those always enable a boring pack mentality. All the familiar lies we tell ourselves to justify lusting for more, repeated ad nauseam. What lies are you telling yourself? And what lies are you telling yourself? Her aura immediately turns colder. You have bigger issues to worry about, sweetheart. Ah well, at least now I know how familiar I can get with her. That I do. Back at the art hole you said something about guiding me, but I have zero idea what to do. None whatsoever. I had a few necessary arrangements to make over the phone before we got here to ensure your pretty little head stays attached to your neck. For now, anyway. I am grateful, but I still feel way out of my depth. I need to know what to do. You used to make a living as an investigative journalist, did you not? Investigate the murder. In TV shows, where an investigative journalist gets too close to the heart of a political incendiary case, it rarely goes well. A cat's head on their porch, a bullet to their head. So are you afraid you might be a pawn in a game you don't understand? Did your elders consider you disposable asset, that a single wrong move might cost you everything you hold dear? That sounds about right, yeah. Well, by the sound of it, you understand your situation perfectly. Don't belittle me. I need your advice. Be anything you want. But don't be boring, Julia. If I wanted to belittle you, I would have drowned you in platitudes long ago. Know thyself. Believe in your strength. Trust no one. Act confident. Turn the chessboard around and read your opponent's mind. Read Sun Tzu and quote him incessantly. Hey, do you feel any better now? Can I ask you something? Seeing as Mia is still not here, of course. Do you know who killed Baron Callahan? I haven't the slightest idea. Were you emotionally impacted by his death? Not at all. Did you know him? Only passingly. I'm afraid I expected him to perish sooner than later, so I never bothered to improve our relationship. Why are you helping me? Am I? It remains to be seen. What do you mean? Do not want a painfully honest answer. But I do. She stares me down. Her irreverent tone makes it impossible to guess what she's feeling, even more so than the mask. When I look at you, I see someone pitiful, someone whose hunger is purely biological, just an animalistic rush. When I saw a burgeoning plan to put you in a situation that is way beyond your capabilities, I offered my help. I was curious to see your true colors reveal themselves firsthand. When everything is said and done, and Callahan's killers pointed out, will you be a whimpering animal, or a victor, taking the spoils? Cannot wait to find out. I don't know what to say. Is she provoking me, or... Mia should be here any second. You have time for one more question. Who is Mia? Who's Mia? She shakes her head, half disappointed, half amused. Really? Boring. Look behind you, there's your answer. I gotta know who I'm meeting. A woman about my age emerges from around the corner of the street. Oh, yeah, she's punk rock. I've never met her before, but if I had to describe her in 2 words, by her aura alone, I'd guess those words would be permanently angry. Even more so than your average anarch. You must be Catherine Weiss. And you must be Mia Morgan. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. The pleasure's mutual. Is your girl? Julia Safinsky, the La Sombra Primogen. The La Sombra representative. I correct her automatically. At this point, it's a habit. Good. If you were a Primogen, I might have tried to kill you here and now. Is Torque still on this side? Nah. I told him I'd take it from here. By the end of tonight, he needs to look like a natural candidate for the leader of the New York City Anarchs. Gonna take a lot of driving around and negotiations. How did you react to finding Callahan's remains? He hasn't exactly elaborated on his feelings, but I expect he reacted the same way every true believer in the cause did. This complicated mess of all the possible feelings under the moon. So he was the first one who's seen the murder site? Oh, so you're already calling it a murder site? Does the Ivory Tower know something we don't? It's not the official position, but I expect a lot of them think it's Torque who stood to benefit the most from the boss's death, and it sounds like he's quick to jump on new opportunities. You don't know him. Yes, but I'd love to meet him and ask him some questions, especially if he was the one who found the body. Well, if you're meeting Torque at all, it won't be tonight. He's too busy. I was assigned to investigate. I won't be able to do it properly if I'm not able to question a key witness. I'll arrange for him to see you this week. This week? Well, the tension is a little too high for delaying an investigation like this. Well, Torque's working on our best shot at making sure they won't get higher, so boo fucking who. I'm his right-hand woman, though. You got any questions? Direct them at me. Maybe the two of you should just head to Callahan's office. The discussion here does not seem to be going the right direction. Nor in a particularly interesting one. Okay, I have an idea. She might be a Nosferatu. And that's why she's covering the lower half of her face, because that's the only part that got disfigured. You're not coming? Torque and you are not the only ones who have their work cut out for them tonight. Trust you can take it from here. And Mia. Easy on her. In slightly different circumstances, I expect the two of you would have ended up on the same side of the barricades. Uh-huh. Take care. Gets back to her vehicle. Give me a second. Go up. Boop. Okay. She heads back to her vehicle. Well, follow me, I'll show you this place. It's a 19th... It's a 19th century style office. Classical, wooden, smelly. The stuffy air of books, old furniture, and dust covers much of the fragrance of decay. But not all of it. No way did he only become this bit of dust. What is with this fucking camera? This is the first time I've seen the remains of a vampire who has met final death. I heard stories of really old kindred crumbling to dust, but that's an exaggeration. At least it didn't happen here. I guess it doesn't happen like that. For a game that is mostly text, their text system is kind of bad. I wish that this would be bigger, or that the I can read it good with slow text, but yeah, it could definitely be better. When kindred die, time catches up with them. If you offed me right now, I'd probably turn into an ugly, leaky corpse, but Kellyanne was well over a century old. Like looking at a damp, dapper mummy. A desiccated body. In a heap of musty clothes, all that is left of the mighty boss, Douglas Callahan, Anarch Baron of New York City. If that's really him. Needless to say, it might be a little hard to establish the time of death or the cause, especially as his garb doesn't have any obvious damage. What a great place to start. Have you already found anything suspicious? Nothing. You don't see in front of you. Uh-huh. This door is the only point of entry to the room, right? Yes, unless you count the windows. But nobody except Callahan knew how to operate those. They don't let air or light through. Metal blinders on the window facing east. The only modern element of the room sticking out like a sore thumb. They look automated. Was the door open when Torque got here? Well, that's the one suspicious thing. It wasn't. It's as if Callahan locked himself in from the inside. A closed room murder, huh? There's some glass scattered on the floor. I point at it. Could that be from the window? I checked. From the outside, it's in perfect condition. So, what's this glass? I have no idea. Why does it seem like she has her suspicions, but is remaining uncooperative just because, fuck off, Camarilla scum! I check the next point of interest. A wall safe. Surprisingly large. I play with the lock a bit. What's the combination? It's Callahan's. What makes you think I know? At least I tried. A desk with nothing but an envelope on it. Nothing inside. I check all the drawers. Every single one has been thoroughly emptied. Don't know what I expected. Is this how the anarchs go around securing crime scenes? Were these emptied before Torg arrived? I don't know. But I wouldn't accuse him of tampering with evidence if I were you. Well, thank you. The decor of the room is pretty minimal, so there's not a lot of points of interest that could illuminate the case. I start getting nervous. I point at the painting on the wall. Of course you have no idea who that is. Callahan's ancestor, I guess. I'm out of ideas. Everything I look at feels like another dead end. I'm frustrated. I feel as if I failed this investigation before it has even started. There must be something more. I start walking around trying to find a single clue. Mia just watches me indifferently. Give me anything. Anything, goddammit. Anything. A shadow blinks in and out of existence near Callahan's remains. I freeze in place. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of me. The only thing I'm afraid of is you wasting too much of my time. Doesn't seem like Maya noticed it. Give me just a moment more. She groans under her nose and goes back to messaging someone on her phone. Massaging someone on her phone. She's that good. Through phone massages. When she does, the shadow appears again. Once again. Blink in, blink out. Could something be there? I approach the clothes and start searching them for a clue. Maybe they missed something. I'm getting desperate, huh? Just being thorough. We've searched the bastard like 3 times, yet nothing of interest on him. How about this? Small card, barely noticeable, looking a bit like a shopping list, is shoved deep into an almost invisible hole in the fabric. I take it out and show it to Mia. Huh? You didn't plant that there, did you? No, did you? Shove off. What's on it? It's a list of 4 names. D'Angelo, Hope, Agathon, Tamika. No, not our babies. Any idea what this is about? Beats me. She is lying, but I don't care. Tomorrow night, I will meet up with Kadir and ask him to help me figure it out. Think I'm done here. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Guess she sees me as nothing more but an enemy agent. When will I get to meet with Torque? If, and that's a big if, he will agree to meet you on a one-to-one basis, Catherine will let you know. He probably won't let a loyal Camarilla lapdog like you see him without her oversight anyway. A Camarilla lapdog, huh? It's a risky play, of course, and might backfire, but it might benefit if I put my loyalty to the court into question. Yeah, Camarilla lapdog? I don't think so. Mr. Torque, the CEO of the Torque Corporation? No, I think he's a bar owner. No, I don't think it's worth it. So, no explosive weapons. Bummer. Nah, no explosive weapons. Nah, not worth it. Playing for both sides sounds like a recipe for trouble. Just too risky and stressful. Pass. Ooh, trait update. What the fuck? You are on track to achieve a what? A rare feat of developing an actual personality. Keep it up. Wow. Wow. I see. Well, have a good night. It's getting late, or early, depending on how you look at it. As I leave Callion's office, I head straight to Dakota's apartment. I try to sneak by to my bedroom, not bathroom, but she's up waiting for me. How was your night? Oh, shit. Tomorrow. What happened? You look like something the cat dragged in. Tomorrow, I promise. But I'm worried. Don't be. Tomorrow. She gives me a concerned look, then closes her eyes, slumps her shoulders, and frowns. Alright. You're the best. I reach my pitch-black room and throw myself on the bed. The responsibilities, the stakes, the way I always feel so slow to react properly in these situations. I don't want to think. I want to turn off my brain. I want to drift into the void. Into the void. Into the void. Into the void. Arrest. You have received your first trade. Ooh, hello Danny, hello Karen. Burp. First burp. That as no, that's not how I at Danny. As at Karen. Just gotta wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Still didn't work. Okay, amazing. Hello, how's it going? How was Repo? Did you get all the stuff? Did you win? Is there even a max level in Repo or something like that? Like, does anyone know, or is it just keep going and going and going? Was good, I think. We were at level 6 or 7. That's definitely decently high. Okay, yeah. So it's similar to... God, I forgot the name of the, like, space scavenging thingy with, like, it was level 11, because nothing changed after that. Ah, that's what she said. Also, hello, how's the Masquerade going? We became a private investigator. Not by choice, but because we were forced to. So it's going okay, I think. We have a very pretty roommate. A PI, yeah. We get a P into someone's eye. But yeah, hi everyone. I'm Urs. I play video games, mostly role-playing games, but sometimes also like kind of stealthy kind of games. Usually with a focus on story. And I also do reading streams. Currently we're play reading, so kind of a mixture of both. Um... But yeah, doing good, doing good. Hope you're doing well. If you need to drink, if you need to eat, if you need to pee, or take out the dog like Danny probably is, or has to, make sure to take care of yourself first. Thank you for the raid. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. If I can answer them, I will. You have received your first trait. Some choices in the game will push Julia towards different ways of thinking, which will have a lasting effect on her throughout the story. I can read, I promise. I do it a lot. You will see a brief pop-up on the top of the screen anytime that you receive a new trait. You can always view any unlocked traits in the lock screen, accessed through the top left icon. Loyal to the end. Yeah, okay, I was not aware that that was what I was apparently getting at. What game of my to-do list should I do next? I finished Red Dead Redemption 2. Give me some that you consider, and I will give you an answer. Because I don't know your to-do list. Remember that ruthlessness is the mark of a true Lasombra. But you might walk another path before reaching that destination. Ooh. Oh, we're getting our makeup made by our girlfriend. Wow, 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 wow. Always told you you'd make it big. What the? Oh no, fuck. Okay, so I found out there is a fucking skip button. That if you keep it pressed, it just speeds up the whole fucking dialogue. And I accidentally pressed it. So we will read it in the log instead. I always told you you'd make it big. Get real. These assholes are just using me as a pawn. Oh no. It's okay. We didn't leave the scene. We just have some reading to do. Get real. These assholes are just using me as a pawn in some stupid fourth-dimensional chess game. As opposed to just keeping you off the chessboard. Don't be a glass-half-empty buzzkill. Watch them make me a scapegoat or something. That would be exciting. I could write a book about living with a 21st century Lee Harvey Oswald. Oh, come on, don't even joke like that. I haven't killed anyone. Factorio, Fashion Police Squad, Rift of the Necrodancer, Salt and Sanctuary, and We Happy Few are 5 of the... The fuck is Fashion Police Squad and Salt and Sanctuary? I also have no clue about what We Happy Few is. I know Factorio and I know Rift of the Necrodancer, I think. Julia, honey. Neither did Oswald. Yeah, right. I keep forgetting. Stop ringling, or I'll mess your face up. Sorry. I'm always obedient when she's busy working on my makeup. It's hard to take care of your appearance, especially your face, when you can't even see yourself in the mirror. Not that I've ever been particularly good at it, but Dakota doesn't seem to mind. I'm her goth dress-up girl. Her presence in my unlife is one of the few good things that my sire provided me with before fucking off to Chicago. Normally, I'd be told to find myself a ghoul, but many of our clan, myself included, finds the idea of ghouls distasteful. You should probably do Factorio last, because you will never finish that game. I mean, there is technically an end of Factorio, no? Wait, that's not what I love forgetting my own fucking keybinds. Fashion Police Squad is a shooter that looks like it was inspired by Doom, and people describe Salt and Sanctuary as basically 2D Dark Souls. So you said you finished Rift of Red Dead Redemption. I would say out of these 5, you've just played a shooter, so let's take out Fashion Police Squad maybe. Awooga. Well, hello there, Esme. So the right one is us, that's Julia, and the left one is our best, is our, like, I would guess lesbian, like, girlfriend, Dakota. I would choose out of these, I think, either Rift of the Necrodancer. Yeah, let's say Rift of the Necrodancer. We're cat people, not dog people. We don't want mindlessly faithful servants, we want companions who rely on us, despite having, in theory anyway, the free will not to. I finished the Factorio base game and started the DLC with a friend, but that fell flat, so I plan on doing that. Are we doing? Doing good? Doing good? How is the owl? Hoot hoot? Or should I say, good good? Ever the jokester. See, nothing changed. Simplifying here, but my sire made it clear that her child would not own slaves, and that was the end of the discussion. To be honest, I think the court mostly agreed to that request because they wanted one more thing to blackmail me with. Just in case. What would you do in my place? If I had to investigate your elite's wrongdoings? Yeah. Might probably look for that rich fuck's pedophile ring. Look for the assholes who mention pizza suspiciously often, see you as powerful friends in Manhattan, jails, stuff like that. Doing better, I feel a bit like a wet towel a week ago, but much better now. I'm glad to hear that you're feeling better. Did anything, like, you don't have to answer now, but like, did anything come off, like your investigation into, like, your, like, state that we talked about last time? Oh, come on. Nah, I'm serious. Search for the deep root rot, and there's a lot of smaller crimes will get solved in the process. What is it with you and conspiracy theories? What do you mean? You just told me your bosses are having eyes wide shut parties and suddenly you don't believe in rich people's pedophile rings? Does your Rumi know you're a vampire? Yes. Yes, she does. Very much so. We drink from her. Oh yeah, that's why I felt like a wet towel. Okay. Well, I hope you feel even better soon. I don't know. I don't know if I want to know. My point is, you act as if all the conspiracy theories are real. Like you can't possibly believe all that shit. Although it doesn't even make sense. I now hold my doc's record for the worst vitamin D levels. So you just need to go out more. Just walk a bit. Wow. Well, you want an interesting answer or a real answer? The real answer would be the more interesting one. I don't do outside, as you can see. It's dark. You wouldn't get much like vitamin D to like right now anyways. It's 11:15. She removes her brush from my face to gather her thoughts. Everyone's lost nowadays. Just look at the world. It's drowning in facts that fail to cohere into a single convincing narrative, or story that resonates. The corporate media want you to believe in empirical thinking, but it always fails to deliver moral and metaphysical truths. And the people desperately lack those. Thank you. Quite proud of myself, but at what cost? Like, I mean, it's not an official record, but like I got the, oh my god, I think you're the youngest to ever have this, was at my dermatologist with finding a spot of cancer, of skin cancer. Mind, it got removed, I'm fine. It was like still benign white skin cancer. But like, you know, that's my, wow, you're the youngest we've seen with that. Also, fun fact about me, hooray! Which, not surprising, I'm pale as fuck, so... Okay, we let this pass. So, what do? They turn to conspiracists, and suddenly they are able to navigate the world. And why is that? Because conspiracy theories give them emotional truths that serve as a compass. Always get your regular checkups then. I do, don't worry. It's also just because I have a shit ton of, like, birthmarks. So. Is Bill Gates trying to insert satanic microchips into my body? Probably not. I hope not. Now, is he a terrible person? No idea, but there's ample evidence that might be the case. It's in his ruthless business strategies the company used to keep the philosophies he follows. People look at him and they feel he's fishy. So when the media presents him as a genius or savior and I post that he wants to put the mark or the beast in my body, they choose to believe me. Because it makes moral, emotional and metaphysical sense to them. And ultimately, that's what matters most. The end. I might have to ask for a checkup at some point too. My dad had it, so I'm more pro. Yeah, it's definitely worth it to ask about if you can get a checkup. I know at a certain age, you are, they cover it like once, like every couple years. I know mine does like one every 2 years, I think. I had it for a while, like once every year. But also again, like a shit ton of like birthmarks and or moles. What's the difference between a birthmark and a mole anyways? So they were like, yeah, you should probably get these checked out. Okay, I think I get it. Wow, I'm 99% this is complete bullshit. But I'm buying it. Mole is a mutama. Yeah, okay. Then not mole. Then yeah, birthmark. I mean, Elibafleck. A birthmark is a spot on your skin, and a mole is a little critter digging holes. God damn it. I mean, it totally misrepresents most conspiracy nut jobs, I know. But it's interesting and fun to think about, so I don't really give a damn if it's the truth. See? That's the idea. You get it. You came up with this monologue yourself? Oh no, I read it on Facebook. Oh, figures. But just to make sure vaccines are okay? Well, as far as I know, they don't cause autism. Good to hear. God, knowing that this one plays in like 2019 makes this dialogue so much more fucking funny. Anywho, I'm done. You're the best. Yeah, considering how many times I've done makeup on a dead body, I probably have enough job experience to be a mortician by now. When did this game come out? I think I don't know, honestly. When did this game come out? Did they tell me here? Oh, release date was September 2020 and it plays in 2019. So it came out mid-COVID. No, streamer doesn't know when game has his streaming release. Blasphemy! I looked it up. Unfollow. No! Don't do that! Now, that sounds like an exciting career, but in reality it is probably the most boring thing under the sun. I would never... Yay! Yeah, I like my corpses talkative, pouty, and self-loathing. Shut up! This carcass will be leaving now. It's got a job to do. Go get him, tiger. First thing I need to do, meet up with Kadir tonight and report to him. I hope he knows how to guide me out of this mess. He should have time for me in an hour or two. In the meantime, I suppose it's time to find some... What's the most dehumanizing word I could use here? Nourishment. Kadir told me I'd need to quench my hunger less often if I didn't smoke. It kills you, he said, but to start killing itself, your organisms must pretend it's alive, and that uses up precious vitae. Sustenance. The hunger. An ancient term for blood. Or vitae, I guess we go from bottom up, which makes no sense. An ancient term for blood, in my experience rarely found outside of dusty textbooks and pompous camarilla speeches. A ghoul. When you get what you get when you give a mortal your vampire blood without draining theirs first. An underling, a toady, a thrall. My clan don't really like to use them. Hell, Karen thought the very concept was beneath her and refused to explain it. The hunger. The vampire's urge to feed. It overpowers all other needs, and trying to ignore it is said to be the easiest way to prime the beast. Dark, always blood-hungry passenger that accompanies every vampire's unlife or hostile takeover. But I love cigarettes. The way they smell, the way they burn, the hot ash falling from the top, the sound of the lighter. I don't like this. This is the part that I don't like about our character. They do drugs, they do cigarettes, they... The way they kill you, of course. And I guess I need some tactile connection to who I was back when I was alive. Okay, New York City, guide my steps. Show me which one of your children I should drink up tonight. Ooh, okay. Choice time, everyone. Diva's Delight. Diva's Delight. A fitting name for a kiss addict audacious enough to openly pitch her unique taste to those in the know. I'm not in a clubbing mood, but since I need to feed, might as well give that rumor a shot. Or a slap on the wrist. Samira is asking me to meet her. If not for the ongoing celebration, the patrician would prove an odd choice for a secret rendezvous. Here's hoping she can provide some useful insight into the case. Or Bonnie as a reporter. The note left at my old dead drop point reads, Bonnie as a reporter. Shit, could it be Woods? Long time no see. What does one do when the ghost of the Christmas past knocks on her door? Okay, so I guess the option is, do we feed from what's her name? From what's her face? Scott Pilgrim against the world. She looks like a lily. She could be a lily. Do we go feeding on someone who most likely wants to get fed on? Do we talk with nerds? No, wait, Samira isn't the nerd. Samira is basically judge, jury, and execute. Like, well, she's like a judge, kind of, a vampire one. Or do we talk with a former, like, investigator friend? I don't remember the name of, like, the girlfriend in Scott Pilgrim. No, it's not Lily. Lily? Okay, we eat. Tonight, we feast. No blood, no matter how exquisite, is worth suffering through this noise. What kind of club is this? I've never been in one, but like, why are there statues? Ramona Flower. There we go. Thank you, Esme. Something terrible must have happened to the previous DJ. It had to be sudden and unexpected for them to hire this amateur under the wire. Zero ability to read the crowd, no sense of flow. As if that constant flashing wasn't migraine-inducing enough by itself. Not that I remember how an ordinary headache feels. I know the hunger, though, which is why I'm here tonight. A purple-haired girl bumps into me, head down, tears flowing down her cheeks, hands trembling. As much as I'd understand it, I don't think it's the guy with the turntables that made her like this. Oof. Oh, I'm so sorry. Bereft girl. Oh no, she's cutting herself. Oh god. Honey, don't do that. She bolts before I can say a single word. Well, who am I to blame her? A tactical retreat probably felt like a good idea. The trace of cheap booze in every potential vessel is faint, but ever present. Her head is so big. Wow. At this point, the smell is all I'm getting. Come to think of it, I can barely remember how alcohol tastes. Vessel. Polite slang for a source of blood, usually bipedal. Maybe I should remind myself. Nah, let's done. But the bar is pretty much free of people at the moment. Oh? Maybe high blood pressure. You can change that. Yeah. I get closer and take a peek at the drinks menu. There are some goofy fucking names, especially from a kindred's perspective. Order the Bloody Margaret. Order the Vampiro. Or put the menu back. No, we will put the menu back. Most of my kin can't stomach the liquor. Any fluid other than blood or food, really. I've got no reason to believe I'm different. I close the drink menu and pass it along to some yuppie drunkard. He seems overjoyed and, to the bartender's dismay, orders the fanciest drink on offer. The music abruptly stops just as I step away from the bar. I can't see the booth, but the crowd's reaction tells me all I need to know. Looks like we have a new DJ. I think I would leave the club if that's what the DJ played. Let's like copyright free music core. I mean, I would leave the club if anything played. Yo, because I don't go into clubs, I don't go clubbing, yo. The vibe immediately improves. Hallelujah. Me neither, yay! But pleasant moments never last. Some well-worn dude on the wrong side of 40 decides to hit me up. Our eyes meet for a brief moment, slightly too late for me to outmaneuver him. I can club at home by myself. The only club I like is the club sandwich. Wow, 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 pew, 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 pew. I have no clue what the fuck a club sandwich is, but it was fun for the joke. Only club we need. A baseball club. Hell yeah. Strangely, there's no lust in his gaze, and yet he seems like a predator closing in on his prey. Shit, could he be the rumored diva's delight? A kiss addict clocking me as a bloodsucker?
Well, how come you're here all alone, sweetheart?
I can't pinpoint exactly what it is, but there's something irksome in the way he carries himself. As he approaches me, I begin to feel fatigued. Like there was a sudden drop in atmospheric pressure. Tell him to piss off. Yes. My unsure voice thwarts any attempts at sounding imposing. Can you bother someone else? I'm not in the fucking mood. He seems unfazed by my words, just tilts his head a little, like a hound dog catching a scent. A few spiders crawling up my spine.
Is there something wrong? Here, let me...
Hands off, asshole. Let's twist his wrist. I grab his wrist in a tight grip and start twisting until I feel the snap of a dislocated joint. He screams in pain, but fortunately the music drowns it out. As soon as I let go of his hand, he runs for the exit. He stares me down before leaving, and I can't help but sense something worse than fear in his eyes. Makes me feel uncomfortable. Time to bail and not look back. Right before I reach the exit, the purple-haired girl from earlier bumps into me once again. This time I know it's not coincidental. Wait, please? She seems startled, but gives me a pleading look. I saw what you did to that man. Are you one of them? What are you talking about? Who's them? She bares her teeth and taps the side of her neck. I get it. One of the baddies. So you're the Diva's delight? She blushes innocently like I just caught her stealing cookies. Yes, it sounds silly, I know, but I thought it would attract some of, some of your kind. I've always been told I taste good. Would you like to try? I think, could she be the daughter that we were supposed to feed from as a Ventru in the last one? Whose blood we spit out because it didn't taste good. Were we offended by doing that? Because she was like, what the fuck do you mean my blood tastes not good to you? Meh. She looks at me the same way a junkie who hasn't had his hit for a while looks at a syringe. You know too much. There's no way you don't have a patron of some sort. Her eyes tear up again. I do, but maybe I don't know anymore. She shows up whenever he shows up whenever he wants, then disappears for weeks. I don't even know his name. We were supposed to meet here tonight, but I guess he didn't show up. The girl keeps talking. Now that she has found somebody new to open up to, any instinct she might have had to remain secretive is gone. Makes you wonder who thought it was a good idea to breach the masquerade for her. Before him, I used to have a caregiver. She was one of the divas too, but she was exceptionally noble. I think she cared about me in a way. She always complimented the way I taste. Would you like a try? She clings to my arm like I'm Jesus Christ and Kurt Cobain at the same time, descended from heaven exclusively to turn her misery to bliss. Can't help but feel some disdain. Please, I promise you I won't be you won't be disappointed. I know I won't be. I'm too hungry for that. But I also like to pretend I'm something better than hungry from time to time. Oof. Part of me wants to refuse. She's a puppy, and we would basically adopt a puppy by doing that. She wants it too yeah, she does want it a bit too much. Like, she's definitely like a drug addict. Yeah, let's refuse. Even if we need to eat, we don't need it that badly. No. I shake her off harder than I intended. She looks at me like a beaten dog, her eyes watery, her fists clenched. But why? Snap out of it, girl. You're off your leash. Stop looking for a new one. Again, it's harsher than necessary. She quickly dissolves into tears, turns tail, and flees into the crowd. It was the right thing to do. Wasn't it? Leave the booming sounds of the club behind me and get on with my night. We can just literally grab someone else to eat. God damn it. Does time pass? Yeah, okay. Do we now get to meet Kadir? No? Okay, Samira is the vampire person, or this is an old, like, dead drop point. I think, so Samira is nice to us. Let's meet with Samira. A clean-cut staff member, dressed in an impeccable company uniform, smiles at me as the elevator door opens. Good evening, madam. Ma'am, meeting someone? I dismiss his question with an apathetic shrug. He sees me up for a brief moment, visibly questioning my fashion sense. However, his professional acumen quickly trumps his discontent. Very well. This way, please. New York City's nouveau rich seem awfully hungry for gourmet soup this late at night. The patrician is packed almost to the brim. The concierge points me over to the last vacant table, conveniently situated in the far-off corner of the main hall. I nestled in the chair, letting my elbows rest on the ornate tablecloth. Watch out! Oblivious white collars, there's the Black Widow in your midst. I'm gonna get ready for bed, you'll be right back, okay? Well, I'm here. Might as well just kick back and die of boredom. Yeah. I really need something to occupy my mind. Figure out why Samira asked you to come. Do you call the concierge? Let's call the concierge. A quick glance at the nearby grandfather clock momentarily stupefies me. Barely 10 minutes have passed since my arrival, but it feels like I've been sitting here for at least an hour. Enough's enough. I wave at the concierge, inadvertently making a scene, as will bring some much-needed Philistine vibes in this place. Hey buddy, yeah, you! The concierge quickly closes in on me, dancing habitually between the tables and addresses me before I can even utter a single word. Excuse me, ma'am? Are you Miss Savinsky, by chance? As soon as I nod, he hands me a carefully folded memo and leaves. The note reads, "The manager of this establishment insulted the Camarilla's authority with his negligence. Even though it's minor, his transgression must be penalized. I would like you to assist me in this matter. Such a display of goodwill on your part would surely improve your standing with the higher-ups. Choose an appropriate non-lethal punishment, S." Well, this is disappointing. It was a high order to expect any help with the investigation, I guess. Instead, just another chore. The best I can hope for is that this really is just a friendly request and not a deliberate attempt to derail my work this early in the game. Damn it. Might as well get it done since I'm already here so I can move on with more pressing stuff. I swiftly approach the manager and tap him on the shoulder. He furrows his brow as soon as he notices me. I'm afraid I'm busy. One of the waiting staff should be able to... We have something to discuss. The VIP lounge. Now, if you please. His face loses color. Maybe it has dawned on him that I'm even paler than the other, more blue-blooded guests. He immediately becomes compliant as I escort him through a side door. The room isn't empty, but its guests are just leaving. Nobody pays me any attention. The manager is as polite as he can be as he sees the patrons out, I can see he's clearly losing his shit. He quietly asks one of his staff to give him 5 minutes in the lounge and gingerly closes the doors behind him. Then the pleading starts. Listen, I know I screwed up. I shouldn't have let him in. How could I? No, he's not one of the proper clients. I don't give a... Listen, hey! I would never. I implore you. I have children, for Christ's sake. There must be something, an arrangement, a way to... He just goes on as if I'm not even here. With each subsequent whimper, he becomes more and more irritating. I'll flash out. Fuck him. He's annoying. I've had enough of this bullshit. I grab him by the back of his head and smash it down onto the bar. Then throw him on the small but stout coffee table nearby. Take out a soup ladle from the fancy kettle it was served in. Just smack the guy around. Doesn't look nice and lasts way longer than it needed to. With every hit, his whimpers grow quieter. Only come to my senses once he chokes on a sob. I look down at him, just lying there and wheezing after the unjust thrashing. I throw away the bloody utensil and get out of here as fast as I can. I don't really know what happened to me back there. I acted on instinct. Karen warned me that something in our bloodline finds sniveling weaklings detestable. Is that what triggered me? Well, this is something to worry about in the future. But no use dwelling on it now. I did what was asked. And I've sure as hell wasted enough time here. That's all, folks. Alright, it's about time I had to see Kadir. Mighty kind of him to arrange a meeting in the place that's most convenient for me. Wait, no. We're not going to... That's not our burger joint, that's just a random place, is it? D'Angelo, D'Angelo, Hope, Tamika, Agathon. I suppose that's better than nothing. But no evidence, really? Honestly, it feels as if someone had already cleaned up the most egregious stuff before I arrived. Sounds like the Anarchs. I'll definitely try and check that place again, but I feel I need some sort of expert to accompany me. An advanced investigator who would show me the ropes. Someone tall and handsome, maybe? Yeah, if you don't mind the diplomatic incident, I'll go with you. Any better ideas? Actually, this very note gave me one. I will need to set it up first. I'll get back to you about that. I wish I could have imported my save from the first game into this. You know these people. I've had passing contact with each of them, part and parcel of the job. You know? I suppose. Can you help me out with this? The way I tackle it would be, look at one person on the list every night, ask around them about them and see what they know if you do manage to meet them. If I manage to meet them? They're not particularly easy to get a hold of, anyway. Always preferred to be a little off the grid, but nowadays they're all practically in hiding, if not MIA or dead. Funny coincidence. It is not my job to speculate. In other words, he knows something but is not at liberty to say. Guess I'll find out anyway, if I do meet them. And why one night each? Shouldn't I investigate every loose threat until we're satisfied? In a perfect world, you'd have all the time you needed. But this is not the perfect world. They'll try to brute force a solution to the case as soon as possible. I suspect that 4 nights from now, once the celebrations of power are over, they'll ask for your findings and that will be all. Fucked up. To be brutally honest, my focus wouldn't be on solving the murder. Instead, I'd focus on not embarrassing yourself. Fucked up. This is why I didn't want you to get involved. You couldn't possibly think Arturo had you involved out of the goodness of his heart. The entirety of your investigation is just for show. You were meant to be an unwitting actor. If it wasn't for the loyalty I feel towards Kadir, Samira and my sire, God knows the memory of my embrace still holds too much sway on me. I'd have plotted a vendetta against these assholes long ago. But let's be frank. Even if I thought that lying to Mia about being sympathetic to the New York City anarchs yesterday could benefit me, I probably wouldn't do it. It would feel like betrayal. Hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in. There's something about the Camarilla's ideal that still ring true to me. I believe. How the game's going good. Well, it's very confusing what's happening. Like, they keep shoving us around. There's interesting choices to be made, but like I feel we're like not far in. But also apparently the game will end in like 4 nights potentially, so it will be a short game again. It's not long. I mean, you know, no, not my 4 nights, but like 4 in-game nights, however long that will be. Or the time-tested traditions can ground us in this terrifying new existence. What did I say? I believe in individual existence and nobility. Blah 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 blah. But being... oh, okay, maybe I have to read this because I don't fucking... okay, but being on the receiving end of this shitty neo-feudal structure and seeing firsthand... oh no. There's something about the Camarilla's ideal that still ring true to me. But it's night 3 already. It's night 4, I think. Now. It was fun, but I was too hard. I feel it was supposed to be, but it was too hard, maybe? I'm not sure. I believe in individual existence and excellence and nobility. Or the way time-tested traditions can ground us in this terrifying new existence. But being on the receiving end of this shitty new feudal structure and seeing firsthand how the elites always play by their own rules. Regardless, I can't help but think there must be something better out there. A kind of Camarilla that would actually deserve slavish loyalty from kindred like Kadir. A penny for your thoughts. Take a drag from my cigarette. The Ursi is doing good. Yeah, he's doing good. I had a weekend, but that means the week is about to start, and that means work again, and that is poopy. But you know, could be worse. Ah, that's just the Camarilla, no? After the last few months of hazing, I didn't expect a random act of kindness. Damn, it's been months already. Okay, I wasn't aware that that much time passed. What did you have for food? My brother made a like tomato feta sauce with other shit in it, and then we had pasta with it, because I cannot remember the day. You could have office day. Imagine having office day on a Monday. Ooh. I mean, I had that for the first couple of years. I had to go to the office every day. To be fair, I rode my bicycle more. I was more fit back then. I need to get my bike to like bike store and be like, here, please make work ready. Thank you. You could get your office boba on Monday too. Yeah, but like, it doesn't matter when. Also, like, it wouldn't be as special if I got it like 2 times a week, or 2 times a month, or something, or 4 times, I guess, a month. Nice. More often than it's necessary, I'd say. But this time it's a risky. Wait, what did I swear to God. Oh yeah. Camarilla works, isn't it? Okay, yeah. What the book do? It is a dictionary. It tells me what different keywords mean. Like vitae is just an old word for blood. It's a good... More than it's necessary, I'd say. But this time, it's a risky play. In my experience, if one simply displays some cunning, they can unexpectedly turn a situation like this to their advantage. Part of the court assumes that you're unable to surprise them in this regard. But if you do, by the end of this investigation, you might as well pull yourself out of the ditch you're in. That would be a night to remember. So, where should I go first? You should go with me. As it happens, I'm only out here because I was ordered to drive Aileen to the art hall. Yeah, that is a cute thing. It is indeed. I'd guess the name of their protege. Oh, so that's who Agathon is? Or was? Nobody knows. It's a complicated thing, you'll see. I'm on the clock, so let's get the move on. Lead the way, big bad wolf. Still not done with this bit. Not well, it's still bothering you. I'm leaving you behind if you don't keep up. And I think, even though, do we go for a bit? This is a good, I think, like stopping point though. Or do I go a bit longer? No, I feel this is a good stopping point. I think this is a good stopping point, so I will stop here. Else, I don't know how long the ailing part is. Let's see. I just remembered there's other new thing. So I don't know if you guys seen, but there is a new emote. I think somewhere. There we go. The audacity. Rawr. What else? There's the reminder that next week is gonna look different. The next few weeks are gonna look different. I did see the new emote. I saw it being offered on Twitter, and I was like, with the shit that I sometimes say, and with the shit that some of you guys sometimes say, I feel it was a relevant choice for an emote. But yeah, so next week, the next few weeks, probably will be restructured. So we will stream Tuesday, Vampire the Masquerade. Wednesday, Baldur's Gate. I'm back, and you end. I will end, yes. I was at a good, like, break point for the story. So Tuesday, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Wednesday, Baldur's Gate 3 with BB and Danny. Thursday, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Friday, nothing. Saturday, maybe. And then Sunday will be Vampire the Masquerade Shadows of New York. For at least but Sunday is October. Wait, this Sunday is already October. Sunday is already October, is it? Oh yeah, it is. It is indeed. I guess then oh, okay, so since Saturdays are free. Oh god, do I wanna do a 5-stream week? So we will do, oh wait, but Thursday is also already, okay, then maybe we do, so we will do Tuesday will be Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, that is. Wednesday will be Baldur's Gate 3 with BB and Danny. Then on the 2nd, that is Thursday, we will start, and that means I guess I have to look into it. We will play I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, or I guess in my set case, and I Must Stream. And then Sunday we will start reading Goosebumps. Good point. Good point. And maybe Saturday something. I'll have to think. I'll have to see. Anyways, oh, let me go to the actual end screen. Let me close the game for myself. You don't see anything anymore. Who is online? I hate this screen. I just got here. You gotta join earlier, Esme. Sounds like a skill issue. Let me see. Who is this person? You were napping. You should either go to bed early then, or nap during the day, not at like 10. Also, I feel it was more asleep than a nap. You were in bed early yesterday, but you woke up at like, Jesus Christ. Why would you do that? Yeah, go back to bed. Right? I mean, you know, the solution is right underneath you when you wake up. It's the bed. My god. I don't think I ever had that issue. So I guess it is a skill issue. I haven't. Yeah. What? Like, what is it with insomnia? Just sleep. Forehead, easy. Have you tried just sleeping? You know, and like again, and you know, since we're like on with good advice, if you have depression, just think happy thoughts. Just stop being sad. God damn it. You know, it's. Have you tried that? You know, just stop thinking bad thoughts. Just easy. Boom. Problem solved. Automod? Wait. I will hit you. Hey, and if you're hungry, just eat. Forehead. Just, you know, solving world hunger right now. When you're sick, have you tried being healthy? And if you want to slap you, just go for it. I mean, yeah, if you can reach. Cause I know y'all small. Bruder. Just because I'm sure doesn't mean I can't just jump up and smack you by supposed to be, dude. Yeah, yeah. And I don't need to jump for that. Yeah, you're even closer to that. Okay, let. I'm not that small. Are you sure? So small. Tiny. Well, no, I'm not a little shit. I'm a big shit. No, I'm Esme. Hi, Esme. I'm Dad. No, you're not. Are you sure? You're Earth. You know, I can be many things. No, I'm Esme. See, I'm many things. Okay, let's see. What are we thinking of? I could send you to your fucking shapeshifter. I am indeed. I will send you to Art Skinwalker. I will send you to no. I will send you to Dark Souls 2 streamer because I like Codename Echo. She's fun. But yeah, thank you everyone for the company. Thank you for the funny time. And I'll be back on Tuesday. If you want to. Humph. Humph. Aw, poor baby. Poor baby Esme. No matter how much you humph. No matter how much you humph, it doesn't change anything. Anyways, thank you all for company. See you maybe on Tuesday. And if not, I have Discord. I have Discord where you can find me. Discord. Just stream longer 5-head. Yeah, just do that. I do sometimes. Just not today. But yeah. Have a good night.